What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Connor here from mckegdiscgolf, and today we got a big box to check out. I got a little antsy, you can tell here. Thank you so much to Neptune Disc for donating every single one of these. I'm gonna be giving most of them away at my putting league, but I'm gonna take a few of my favorites and go test them out myself. So let's get into it. So first things first is the splash here in bass plastic. Bass is what Neptune calls their base level plastic. It's extremely tacky. It's good and flexible. This is not like board stiff. I can very easily depress it. It's a very flat mold as well. I mean, in this plastic at least, this is board flat, which means I'd expect it not to have a ton of glide. Flight numbers are 3301, so it should be pretty neutral. I think most of the time when you use a putter to throw, you end up overpowering it by the numbers, so I would expect this to be pretty neutral, especially in the bass plastic. Next up is also the splash. So the splash is Neptune's only disc that comes in two plastics right now. This is the pearl plastic splash. So this is a very premium, very glossy feeling plastic. It's very shiny. I wonder if that'll kind of fade as I throw it a lot. I would expect this to be more true to that 0-1 number, maybe even a little more. I'd expect this to have a little bit of bite to it. It feels like the shoulder is kind of high. And overall, I think this is a really nice feeling plastic. I can see why they call it pearl plastic. It's got some kind of flow artifacts in it if you look at it in the right light. So this reminds me a lot of the Prodigy 500 series plastic. It's got that kind of pearlescent type look to it. Neptune just cut out the middleman and called it pearl plastic. So what I notice here, just holding the bass in my right hand and the pearl in my left hand, is that it feels almost as if the shoulder's a little higher with the pearl plastic. That might just be an artifact of there being a tiny bit of dome. All right, next up is their mid-range, the Nautilus. So this is a 5502, should be a fairly overstable mid-range, and I can feel that in the hand. It's got a lot of the weight of the disc concentrated near the top. This feels somewhere between a buzz and a wasp, I think. It doesn't have a bead, which might take it up a notch into wasp territory, but this swept internal feature here, that feels very buzz to me, but it should be more overstable than a buzz, according to the numbers. This is a very flat mold as well. Not a ton of dome here on any of these, really. Last, but absolutely not least, is the 9-speed flippy driver from Neptune Discs, the Marlin. Definitely a flippy disc. I can tell just by the way the shoulder sits that this is gonna be a flip machine. So this, I would expect to be a very beginner-friendly driver. For me, I'm gonna have to really hyzer this thing in order to get it to go anywhere without rolling, because the one fade is just not gonna fight back very much. This Marlin is also in pearl plastic. I think it's smart for a brand like Neptune that has a limited lineup to go for something very beginner-friendly as they go faster in speed. There's only one disc that I don't have right now, and that is the Squid. So the Squid is supposed to be like a Wraith type disc, but they're having some issues with the molding process right now. They really want to get that dome right with the 11-speed distance drivers. Michael has told me it should be soon. If you've got one and you want to send it to me, let me know. I'll shout you out and I'll give you a review. All right, I've made my selections. I'm going to be giving every single one of these away at my putting league, but I'm going to take these out to a field and see how they fly.